One moment can change a life forever. A traumatic event, a difficult battle, a painful chapter. The journey of actress Lisa Regina began with surviving violence. Through writing, she found healing. Through healing, she found purpose. Today, Heroic Episodes shines a light on those who rise, rebuild, and transform pain into strength. These are stories of courage, stories of resilience, stories of hope. Welcome to Heroic Episodes.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heroic Episodes. I'm Lisa Regina, the founder of the nonprofit A Right to Heal and the creator of Heroic Episodes. We meet here every Thursday at 7 p.m. with veterans, advocates, and artists, all who have chosen to turn pain into purpose, to create, to heal, to inspire. And I do know firsthand as a survivor that inspiring stories can truly heal. It's just so healing, not just for the person who's sharing their story, but for anyone who may be listening. And I'm joined every week with my dear friend, renowned photographer, patriot, author of Rock and Soul, and associate producer of Heroic Episodes, Barry
Yes.
Morgenstein.
Hey, great to be
Hey,
back.
Barry.
Good to see you again.
Good
Another
to see
week.
you.
I'm excited
Yes.
to be here again. Another
I
great
like
guest tonight.
Yes, we do. And I want to first start out with thanking you, Barry, because you you're an amazing friend and you always introduce me to just incredible veterans and advocates and people. So thank you so much.
Well, I'm happy to do it. We're great old friends, so I would do anything for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's what brings our guest here tonight. Barry introduced us. William Bill Brown is an Iraq War veteran, former Navy SEAL, a partner at Parlatore Law Group, where he proudly represents his American warfighters. Bill grew up in South Jersey, with following in the footsteps of his father and his grandfather by serving our country. Bill served 8 years in the Navy, 3 tours, and one defining moment that I'm sure he has many defining moments, but this moment that I read about really defines his bravery. October 14th, 2004, Bill was serving as a first responder in Baghdad's Green Zone. Bill raced to intercept a suicide bomber during twin attacks. And Barry, I think you'll agree that is a true heroic episode.
Absolutely. Honored to have him. He's an incredible guy, just a true hero. I know they don't always like to be called heroes, but it is what it is. He's an absolute hero. And
I agree.
Great, and a really nice guy too. Great guy, very humble.
I agree.
Yes.
After being honorably discharged, Bill earned his undergrad and law degrees at Rutgers University, where he serves as the president of Veteran Alumni of Rutgers University. He's featured in Dave Goggins' 2 best-selling books, Never Finished and Can't Hurt Me. Bill is also the founder of the New York City SEAL Swim, which is an open water endurance swim across the Hudson River. I find that mind-boggling, right?
Exactly.
But across the Hudson River, it began in 2019 with 33 Navy SEAL swimmers and has grown to over 300 swimmers, raising millions for Gold Star families. This year's swim is August 15th. We were just talking about that. And he also led Operation Full Court Press, historically the first ever large-scale SEAL and veteran mobilization to Washington in support of a cabinet nominee. Bill believes that no one looks out after veterans better than other veterans, and his advocacy work and all that he does surely demonstrates that. Please welcome Bill Brown. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Welcome.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing great now that you're here.
Yes.
Yeah, great
And
to be
thank you
here.
so much for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me. What an honor. I'm super excited.
Excited to have you. It's our honor for sure.
I love the message of the podcast about going through trauma and healing, but growing stronger from it. I love it.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
been-
That's
yes. And
Lisa's vision. So it's proud to be a part of it.
The beautiful vision.
Yes, well-
Reminds me of a lot of great Americans that I know.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's so great.
That inspires me further.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Well, I think that, storytelling is so powerful, and you never know who you're reaching, who's listening. But I didn't know you were from South Jersey, and just learning that. So when did you realize that you were going to follow in the footsteps of your father, your grandfather, and serve in the military?
Hey guys, I don't know what's going on, but I can't hear Lisa. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Barry.
Well, I guess I'll take over for a second. Lisa did ask. She was wondering how you decided to follow in the footsteps of your dad, and when you decided you were going to join the military.
That's a great question, Lisa. My grandfather was a veteran. Both of my grandfathers were veterans. My maternal grandfather, he was a World War II veteran. My paternal grandfather, he served in Europe, but during the Korean War. My dad was a veteran. So I think serving my country it felt like the right thing to do. All the male members in my family kind of served. And I think it was always in my background. And I think a lot of families kind of follow suit. Maybe not in the military, but if your father or grandfather's in a certain field, I think there's a strong gravity for a lot of families to kind of follow that path. And for me, I always had a great love for our country. And I'm very glad I served, because it gave me the chance to see the world. It gave me a chance to get responsibility, and it gave me a chance to be a war fighter, and I'm grateful.
We're grateful you did too.
I'm
Very
grateful too. This is going to be an interesting podcast, because I can see Lisa's beautiful face, but I can't hear her.
Oh, that's weird. Is Andrea checking that out? Yeah. Well,
I'm
Bill,
going to do something. I'm going to try.
yeah. Let us know. Let us know when you start to hear Lisa.
Okay.
Can you hear?
No, I'm sorry, I can't hear her, but I guess I'll.
You and I will chat for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, really love having you here, and I don't know, tell us more about your background, and just, I love how you're still serving and you give speeches now, which obviously I've seen a few of your speeches, and they're all inspiring. So I think that's a great thing you do, and working as an attorney now with our mutual friend Tim Parlatore. So that's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm honored to work for Tim. In case your audience doesn't know it, Tim Parlatore, he's a great attorney, one of the greatest trial attorneys of our day. And he's really helped out a lot of our war fighters that were unjustly prosecuted. Mm-hmm. And I have the honor to work with him. And one of the things that I do is, I don't make a lot of money, but I get the chance to represent our nation's war fighters, men and women who put it on the line for our country and serve their country. And one of the things they know about coming to Parlatore Law Group, our law firm, is they know that there's no doubt we're fighting for you. And so, I love fighting for them. I've had some pretty big cases. And the military has taught me a lot. I would never have became an attorney if I didn't become a SEAL first. And you talked about speaking. One of the greatest things about speaking is that or even like these beautiful podcasts, is you get a chance to share your ideas. And one of the cool things about that is I think it's a great way to, I love the grassroots of podcasts where just a regular Americans can get the chance to share their perspectives. And I think it's so interesting to hear other people's great stories like Lisa's and yours, Barry's, two really great patriots. And I'm just inspired by the age that we live in because we're just regular Americans, but here we are sharing our opinions on a global scale and advocating for things we believe in and getting together with other good Americans. And I think it's a super cool age that we live in.
It is. Can you hear me now? No, still
No.
can't.
Still can't hear Lisa. So yeah, well, I guess going back to Tim, as I think the first time I met
Try to do without.
Tim was when he came to my studio.
Can you hear me?
I can.
You can? Can you hear me, Bill?
Bill can't.
I don't know why Bill can and you
Yeah.
can.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you. It's so funny. When we were backstage, I heard her fine.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well,
But,
Barry, I'm
real
going
quick, I was
to.
just,
Yeah.
you're gonna work on that. Let me just my point was with Tim. I think the first time I met him, it was at my studio, and it was Bernie Carrick, the former police commissioner, who said, "Okay,
Beautiful man.
Eddie Gallagher is going through this, ordeal." So that was, and so he said, "You have to take his picture," and they all came to my studio, and that's an example of a warrior who was treated horribly, and had to go through hell to somebody who served our country, and thanks to Tim and Bernie and a few other people, I guess that he got through it. So, but it was an honor just to meet Tim and to meet a hero like Eddie and just work with Bernie, and it was pretty cool.
Tim kind of made his bones being working for the attorney that got John Gotti acquitted a few times.
I know Bruce Cutler, right?
Yes.
Right.
And
yes,
so
I did that.
He, great trial attorney, a Navy officer, went to the academy, and he decided that he wanted to be an attorney, and thank God he did because he's a great attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And used those skills that he learned in the courtrooms in New York City to really help some great Americans. And I can tell you and I had the honor to working on a big case with Bernie Carrick, who is one of our lead investigators.
Right.
And what an honor it was! What a great American! And the way he stood up after the attacks on 9/11. And the way they treated him and how he was treated, and even the same way they treated Giuliani,
Right.
these are great Americans that stood up for a country, and they inspire me because when you get to meet guys like Tim, when you get to meet guys like Bernie, you can't help but be inspired to really stand up. And I am honored. And one of the great things about working for Tim, besides just advocating for war fighters and men and women that serve their country, but also I have the ability to go on social media and talk about how things I really care about without being pressured and worried about my job. And, with the cancel culture, I've been a victim of that at my previous law firm. And so I'm taking full advantage of it, 100%. I think our country is in big trouble. I love our country. I love the ideas our country was founded on: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, equality, due process. I love the evolution that our country's taken and meet those measures, like the Civil War, the Civil Rights Movement, the women's suffrage movement, even the gay and lesbians movement. But now with this cancel culture and stuff, and the wokeism, and it's really taken a back step. And you see what happened recently in New York yesterday, where they elected 3 communists.
Yeah.
And it was socialists. Yeah. And
horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
yeah, and so more good Americans really need to step up, and that's why I really love these podcasts. And I'll be sincere with you guys. I'm in the legal community. A lot of Americans don't realize how far down the kind of woke path that the big law firms are at, and that bleeds into the judicial system and our court systems.
Of course.
I'm really concerned about that, and I'm trying to stand up against that too in some pretty big lawsuits.
Good for you. Well, we need people like you, warriors on the battlefield, warriors, and as attorneys, or however we can fight to keep our country, like you said, what it was meant to be, and keep it that way. So we appreciate everything you do.
I appreciate you guys very much.
Let's see if Lisa's back with us.
Can you hear me?
I can't believe I can't hear her.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because I can hear Lisa.
Yeah.
Is Andre with us still?
Is there any way you could put on speaker on your phone and then call me, and that way I can hear that way?
Yeah, Andre's saying.
I'm just trying to impose to see if there's a different way we can make this work.
Can you
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
He said to
call me and put me on speaker, and that way when she calls, your phone will hear it, and then I'll hear it.
Yeah, he said that.
I'm going to call you. We'll see if it works.
Okay. Calling me or calling Lisa?
I'm going to call. You know what? I'm going to call her directly. That might even be.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. We were fine with audio, and then we weren't.
Yeah.
But you can let Bill know that everything he was talking about, I'm concerned about our grandchildren.
Right. Yeah. Bill, Lisa said, with everything you're saying, she's concerned about our grandchildren, as I am too, the future of our country. What are our children, our grandchildren? What are they going to be dealing with, down the road?
That's the motivation. That's the motivation to stand up. I'm trying to call Lisa, but I get her answering machine.
Lisa, you better pick up.
And she called me.
I'm right here.
I'm calling right now, Lisa. Here it comes.
Everyone else could hear. Good evening, Barry Morgenstein.
Yeah.
And reason for calling. I'll see you.
I don't know why.
Ask her to call me.
Lisa, call Bill.
I need his number. Text it.
Hold on.
Yes. Sorry about this. I don't know what happened.
Well, we're working on this, Bill. To tell us more about just what you're working on, or maybe let's hear more about the SEAL team swim, because that's coming out. So everybody wants to hear about that for sure. Can people attend, or can anybody go, or you have to,
Yeah, it's a very big event, and I think it's one of the most patriotic events in our nation. So there's a couple things you guys can do. One, you can check out the website. NYC SEAL Swims, got an S at the end, .com. Let me make sure that's not .org.
Here you go.
Yeah, it's NYCSealSwims.com.
Right.
I tried calling Lisa. I don't know why she didn't go through.
I just gave her your number, so hopefully that should be you.
Okay.
So now, how many years has the swim been going on for?
So this will be the 8th year, and so it's a really great event. One of the things that we do is we want to send a positive, patriotic message of unity out there. We love our country. We love the men and women who served our country. We believe the honor and the fallen. We believe in respecting veterans, police officers, firefighters, those who protect us, and we also believe in adventure therapy. There's different ways that people kind of adapt through trauma. One of the ways that works for me, because I was type of a kind of a high caliber guy, is I like having adventures. And one of the cool things is when you get a lot of good people together and you have like fun patriotic adventures, I call it adventure therapy. And we all just kind of uplift each other, And it's kind of like when you're in the military and you've been out for a while, it's kind of like you kind of miss, it's almost like miss your extended family, or kind of like going to a high school reunion again. When we get together, we kind of energize each other in a kind of fun way. And the other thing we do is, we love kind of teaching people about patriotism. Lisa brought up a great point about how important it is to teach our youth, and to fight for our country, for the next generation. And that's one of the things we're trying to do too, is say, hey, it's cool to love your country. It's cool to be a patriot again. And that's, that's kind of where we're at. It's really fun swimming by the Statue of Liberty. And you think about what the Statue of Liberty stands for, like our liberties, freedoms. And you think about Ellis Island, and you think about how many Americans came to our country for a better life. You think about our nation's diversity. These are all things that kind of make our country such a unique and beautiful place. And so even when we would finish in the World Trade Center, we'd swim to South Cove Marina in Lower Manhattan. You'd see Freedom Tower there. And that's us with our flags,
A great photo.
Yeah, beautiful Americans.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things is running with those flags in New York City. That sends a really beautiful message, and very grateful for that. And one of the things is I'm so glad you put up the website. Is one of the things we try to do is a lot of SEALs. It's a tough transition process. It's very tough. And so one of the things is that's a Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth.
Oh, that's Pete. Yeah, look at that.
He swam with us for 4 years.
Such a badass.
He is a badass.
So they all are, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I love Pete, though. That's so great.
Yeah. And so one of the things, we do is we try to sponsor really good groups out there that are doing right. And this year, our lead sponsor is Beyond the Brotherhood. And Beyond the Brotherhood is a group that helps SEALs transition. Now, a lot of SEALs, especially SEALs that have been downrange and been to war, it's tough. And so Beyond the Brotherhood is ran by SEALs, for SEALs that are trying to in that tough transition process. Because when you're a commando and then all of a sudden you're out of that world, it's very different. The lifestyle you were living as a SEAL compared to a civilian Bill Brown is much, much, much different. And so it's a very tough transition process. And so Beyond the Brotherhood is a great group that we're raising money for this year. And I'm very grateful. And some of those cool pictures you put up, and Barry, you're a great photographer, and you've taken some of the best pictures that anyone's ever taken in me.
I appreciate
that. These pictures here are from the New York City Adventure Therapy book. Now, I love it because it shows the patriotism. It shows the adventure therapy that we're really trying to share. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is I have this book that's getting ready to get published by Modesty Publishing, but in order for me to get 2,000 copies, I have to raise about $60K. So if anybody's interested in helping become a sponsor, and we'll put your company's name on the book, and thank you for helping us promote our adventure therapy and patriotism, feel free to send me an email at wibrown32099@gmail.com. That's wibrown32099@gmail.com. I think the book is just like the swim. It's just about letting people know about the adventure therapy, letting people see how cool this patriotic fun event is. And I'm very excited. Now, I got to tell you something. Unfortunately, because of, in my opinion, corrupt politics and the woke ideology, that for 7 years, we had no issues with our permit. But imagine it, this year, New York City denied our permit.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm suing the chairman of the Port Authority and the Port Authority because of that, because
Good for you.
this event does too much good for too many beautiful people for me not to fight back, Barry.
Yep. What's up, Bill? What is their excuse for
Yeah.
not giving you the permit? What
Yeah.
possible excuse can they give you?
It's a great question, Barry. So their excuse is they're doing construction on a tennis court that's nearby where we land.
Oh, come on. What?
That's how
That's-
bogus it is.
So it's political bull, basically.
I gave them,
Yeah.
Barry, I gave them 6 other alternative spots where we could possibly get on,
Right.
get interested in any one of them.
Wow. So they just don't want it to happen.
That's exactly it.
Just too patriotic for them, I guess.
So Barry, that's
Well, I see
another
it's kind of a little
anti-American
complicated.
New York
I don't want to get your
right?
audience down
Right.
too much rabbit hole, but I'll give you the kind of
That's
basics. I was an attorney at McCarter and Inglis, which is the oldest and largest law firm in New Jersey. The large part of their legal market, in my opinion, about 80% is based out of New York City. So they kind of made, in my opinion, a business judgment decision, basically to go far, far left. And where they started promoting BLM and every
wow.
other kind of, a lot of these woke causes and in my opinion, very anti-Trump. And they didn't like my LinkedIn post that basically had a different perspective.
Right.
And so, in my opinion, and they didn't like my advocacy for veterans. In my opinion, I guess it was just too much for them.
Right.
And so,
Which is so twisted and upside down. How you cannot, respect somebody who's trying to help our veterans. What is
Yeah.
wrong with that?
it
It's
got
just-
to the
it's
point.
infuriating.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I sued them for veterans discrimination. Now, when you think
Good.
about that,
Oh,
Barry,
that's great.
Yeah.
they hired the law firm of the chairman. The chairman of the Port Authority is named Kevin O'Toole. He has a law firm called O'Toole and Scivio. Now, in my opinion, I believe they hired his law firm purposely to mess up with my swim. Then all of a sudden, after they hired his law firm, I had seriously difficulties working with the Port Authority last year. And I don't think it's a coincidence, and I have threatening text messages from Port Authority personnel telling me not to mention the chairman or his law firm, or
Wow.
that I'd be denied access to the swim and they wouldn't support the swim. We'd be denied access to World Trade Center. That all happened.
Wow.
And then on a denial email, Barry, on a denial email from Battery Park, I never had anybody copied from the Port Authority. But on my request, but on a denial email regarding a permit from Battery Park, you know who is copied on it? The guy from the Port Authority who did a threatening text to me about the chairman and his law firm. But so I'm suing them. I'm doing it the right way. I'm trying to be the adult in the room, but I'm also letting everybody know what happened because, in my opinion, it's corruption.
Right.
And
Political.
basically, it's an extension of the cancel culture is what it really is.
Yeah.
They tried to destroy my ability to earn a living as
It's
an
still
attorney.
happening,
And
right?
in my
Right.
opinion, they tried to destroy my
Oh, that's-
swim, which helps out a lot of beautiful people because here's
Right.
the truth. In my opinion, there are a bunch of woke elite attorneys, and they really, you know how
How many
they.
of those to go around? I
You know
think,
how-
Bill, I think Elisa has a question. Let me relay it to you real quick. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm saying the seal swim is still happening August 15th.
Yeah, she's saying the swim is still happening.
It's still by the
It's
grace
still
of God.
happening.
By the grace of God.
Okay.
Now, you know how they treat Caitlin Clark on the
course.
basketball field?
Yeah, I was just talking about that today with a friend of mine.
It's horrible. It's horrible the way. So what are they really doing? They're trying to. They're envious. They hate her, and they're trying to basically bully her out.
Right.
And I don't know how much that poor woman can take.
Right.
Well, here's the truth. That's what those woke attorneys were trying to do to me at that law firm, and they're still not done. But by the grace of God, the swim does too much good for too many people. So okay, they kicked us out of New York. We're still not going to stop. We're just going to take it on a chain and adapt. And so Beyond the Brotherhood had the courage to step up, and we're moving. And I got really good news today. Well, I got Dakota Myers, the Medal of Honor
Oh,
winner.
wow.
He's going to do the swim.
That's amazing.
I found out today that Joey Jones is likely going to do
Oh,
be
wow.
the MC the swim. He's from
That's-
Fox News.
Right. He's great. He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you know what? Good
awesome.
Americans are still coming out. We're
Yeah.
still having an adventure. We're still going to send our patriotic message. And I'm being I learned a lot. I've studied a lot of influential individuals, and we look at like Gandhi, you look at MLK, there's a lot to holding the moral high ground and being an intellectual. And so if you look at my advocacy, Barry, even like when I stood up for Israel and Jewish Americans during the worst of it, and during the swim, we did the same thing. I had the Israeli SEALs with the Star of David. I let them up front.
God bless you for that. That's amazing.
That's the right thing. I led internal security elements at pro-Israel marches at Columbia and at University of Southern California in LA.
That's amazing.
You know what? God loved David because David had the courage to do things when it wasn't easy.
Right.
And so I'm really proud of and even in those events, like holding the moral high ground, being an intellectual, but having the courage to stand up, Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Barry.
Oh,
please.
Lisa has a question coming in. Go ahead.
Please tell Bill that I really admire his courage, because I remember during COVID, just to kind of, relate to something that everyone in the film industry was going through.
Right.
Everybody was afraid to open their mouth. Everybody was afraid to, just be who they are and vote for who they want and if you weren't, if you didn't get the vaccine, you were blacklisted,
Absolutely.
I mean, it was horrible in our industry. My friends were calling, everybody was petrified because they didn't have a voice. And
Right. And there were people who I know young people who actually got the vaccine just so they would get roles. So Bill, Elisa,
hold on. Ryan Weaver jumped on and said, I'm thinking they need a concert at the end of that swim.
Yeah, wow. Do you know Ryan Weaver, Bill?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so much better with.
So Ryan's a country singer. He's also a veteran. He's a 2-time Gold Star family. He lost his brother. He's amazing guy, great musician. So he's volunteering in case you guys need a singer at the end of the concert, because he's a real patriot, a talented singer. I've seen him perform a few times, and he's really good. So maybe I'll hook you guys up afterwards.
That would be something.
You guys would love each other. You would get along very well. He's just a great patriot, another hero. And again, talented singer. So. So Lisa was saying, one, obviously she admires the work you're doing and your patriotism and everything. So she was comparing, saying also back to COVID time, same type of thing. She, being in the entertainment industry, how they threatened people, either forced you to get vaccines or you couldn't work. And if you didn't get the vaccine, some people stood their ground and they didn't get work, and that was again tyranny. That was just what they did, was just disgraceful. So kind of the same type of thing.
With my assault, I was blacklisted for opening my mouth because someone beat me up. I was blacklisted.
Right. So that Lisa's saying too, when she was actually assaulted, she was blacklisted. So it's kind of the same thing. They're going after a Navy SEAL for trying to do the right thing. So that here, Lisa, an assault victim, beaten up by a big son of a bitch bully. And she's the bad guy. So she gets boycotted. So just examples we can give. That's touch on that.
One of the things they did, Lisa, to me.
In a weird echo, by the way, guys. Sorry.
One of the things they did to me to kind of, I respect you so much, Lisa, and it kind of motivates me. When they were trying to cancel me, is in the SEAL teams, if a person quit, they called it DOR, drop out on request. It's a military acronym. In my opinion, McCarter in English was trying to get me to DOR because I was a commercial litigator. But once they stopped, once I started, getting negative feedback about my veterans advocacy and some of my political perspectives, all of a sudden they stopped giving me typical commercial litigation. And I got to tell you, I'm embarrassed to say this, but all they gave me, predominantly amount of my work, was representing basically pedophile priests of the Catholic Church. And it makes it, I view myself as a protector. And it's really hard for me to kind of reconcile that with the fact that here I was the way it works in a big firm is all your bonuses and everything is all geared on your billable hours. So they weren't giving me any other work. I was complaining about it. I told them I hated the work, but that's all they were giving me. And they were basically, I'm a father of a girl. They were trying to get me to basically self-select my way out. But Lisa, I learned a lesson there. And it's not the lesson, they were trying to put my nose in poop. But that's not the lesson that I learned. When all these fact patterns, when the victim spoke up, no matter what happened in the case, to me, they won, no matter what. And to me, like, that's what happened to me and why I'm speaking up about it, just speaking against that, in my opinion, politically corrupt, woke, elite law firm of Carter and Inglis, then a politically corrupt Port Authority chairman, in my opinion. Why am I speaking up about it? Because I learned that lesson. And it's the same thing with you, Lisa. Like, you're not broken. You're like, hey, this is wrong. This happened. Yep. And in a way, what happens, right? Because one of the things I learned by reading those cases is that these pedophile priests in the Catholic Church would do whatever they could, like great measures to keep their victims silent, like ridiculous pressure. And that's why they won, because all that pressure didn't work. And even the cancel culture, like they tried to cancel you, Lisa, they tried to cancel me, but damn it, we ain't stopping.
Oh,
No.
Boy. Nope. Two strong people.
Yeah.
wait,
Sure.
I will show it now.
Did you,
Speak truth to power.
did you try to call Bill at all on your phone, Lisa? Did you try to call his number?
I did.
Oh, I got a missed call from Trenton.
Maybe try again.
Yeah, I did call.
Yeah.
There he is.
Lisa.
How you doing?
Oh, we're in business.
Yeah,
Does that work?
sorry about the audio, but it doesn't take away from, and now we're going to get an echo.
Yeah.
Take away from all the great work you're doing, and I'm just really grateful. And I think your courage and using your voice and not letting them put you down is so admirable. And just grateful to have you here.
I'm honored to be here, Lisa. How's that song go? I'm a survivor. We're survivors.
Yes. And I think a lot of people are afraid, but I had to rebuild my life. Barry knows everything that I did. I think, let me lower my volume. But we have so many great comments here. Dr. Pamela Arnell from Lucha Zero, I know you joined their team. She's on here supporting you.
Love her.
Navarro is here.
Woohoo!
Cody, Ryan Weaver.
I think
All right.
Pamela's the one who got you to my
Josh
studio. Right, Bill?
Yep.
I think, yeah.
Hey, Ryan, tell Ryan we'd love to have him at the New York City Seal Swing.
No,
We'd love
yeah.
to have him.
I'll do an intro for you guys.
Okay.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And you talk about, you brought up some names there. Let me tell you, 22-0, working with Pam, they do such great work. You talk about helping good people in crisis and times of need. When Pam has helped me, and also I've had a bunch of different good people reach out to me in trouble, and guess what? I give them Pam. Even one of my buddies who's a police officer, she was helping this week. And so I'm very grateful for what 22-0 does. There's one thing about having a therapist. For me as a SEAL, to be honest with you, I don't want to be talking to some like therapist that's far left, that a lot of them are. They're going to be talking about me at a cocktail party. And that's why, like, knowing that Pam's like, she's a patriot, and the other good team at 22-0 is a patriot. They love our country. Like, I just feel so confident and safe, like, talking to her and sending people her way.
Sure.
Because I know she's in it for the real reasons, the right reasons, to help good people.
She
And I can
is.
trust her.
She lost her husband, Jerome. He served in the army. I'm sure you know the story about Jerome and being exposed to the burn pit. So when someone is an advocate, as Pam is, when it comes from that personal place, that passion keeps you going. That's what makes you work around the clock. And it's not about money, that's for sure. It's about the passion and the healing.
Yeah, 100%. She's a beautiful, beautiful American, and she does beautiful work. And you talk about the SEAL swimming, like the rough storms, and like you don't know if you're going to get through. And then all of a sudden, there's like good people that come out of nowhere that help, like Pam. Well, Gina Ferrero, who's on now, she's from Media Market Spotlight, and their team promoting this swim, they are the engine that's driving this year's swim. They
That's
made
awesome.
the website when no one else would. They supported me when no one else would. When we were looking for sponsors, they were there.
Wow.
Gina and her team, Media Mark Spotlight, they're patriots and they're all about it.
Thank you, Gina Ferraro. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Yeah, another beautiful American.
Yes. That's why Pam Arnell is on our board of directors for our nonprofit. Barry's an ambassador. We would love to have you as an ambassador, Bill, on A Right to Heal.
I'd be honored to. You guys,
Amazing.
yeah.
You imagine that would be great.
Yes, we would love that. And heroic episodes, we've been developing this series, and that's why I said to Barry, October 14th, 2004, is that something you'd like to speak about? Share us with us, because I think for civilians, it's hard to wrap our head around how does someone run towards a suicide bomber? Because instincts would be to run away, but you ran towards a suicide bomber.
Yeah. Well, I think when you see the first suicide bomber, you want to make sure that don't happen again.
Right.
Yeah, and I think here's the truth. There's different things that are like traumatic, that kind of resonate, and that's definitely one of the things that resonates with me because one, there's like when you see dead people and like their bodies are ripped or rambled or ripped apart, be honest with you, the wave doesn't hit you right away because you can tell they're not alive anymore. So it's easier to consciously distance it. But when there's people alive that are like really in bad trouble and they're screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming and they're all mangled and everything, that's the part that really sticks with you. And so I think one of the things that really stuck with me is right after that first suicide bombing, there was an Arab lady and her whole face is ripped off. And she's screaming like you've never heard anybody scream. And so that was really my motivation to go get the second suicide bomber. But they, unfortunately, I wasn't successful. And we did a maneuver called a leapfrog maneuver. It's basically you grab security, you hold it, and then the other guy leaps in front of you. He grabs security. That way you don't kind of just run into something. And if you do, at least you have one guy who's got point first. And what happened is right after that suicide bombing, everybody's running around like crazy. And there was this Iraqi who spoke a little English, and he told me a Jordanian with a yellow shirt, black bag, this way, this way, this way. Mm-hmm. And so I got permission to try to get him, me and another guy. And it's so funny because when I think back about it, I didn't hear the second explosion. And I was pretty close, but my buddy was like this with his muzzle. And back at the time, where if a guy pointed his gun somewhere, like that's where your attention was, So he was like this with his muzzle. And I looked and I saw the mushrooms cloud, and they blew up in a bazaar, which is an open street market. But because of that incident, I think one of the things that like a lot of times about, like I get a sense of urgency and I almost feel like compelled to speak up sometimes when I think things are like really off. And sometimes I think maybe like, I think it's a blessing, but other times I think it makes it, it's very difficult sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I,
you speak out against injustice, so that's you're
Yeah.
passionate about that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? You're not always a hero. I think back, I remember, I'm almost embarrassed to say this, Lisa, but I'll be honest about it. I was at a party one time when I was a teenager, and I saw this guy roughing up this girl, and the guy was way bigger than me. And I was a coward and I didn't do anything. And I tell you what, that burns me up to this day that I didn't step up and say, So I can't say like, oh, I'm always a guy that steps up. I have stepped up sometimes when I really needed to, and I'm glad I did. But there were a few times when I should have and I didn't. I'm embarrassed about it.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And I think if that was during high school, that was way before you became a Navy SEAL, before your training. And you surely have made up for that
I was gonna say
moment in high school.
you were young and you've made up for it 1,000 times over. So
Yeah.
you're good.
I would say so.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. But appreciate your honesty though, for sure.
Yeah, I know. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah.
My father, I remember being young in Philadelphia and someone being jumped in the street, and my father getting out and chasing down the two guys that were on this one guy. And I don't know. I just think I always knew him to be the first one to step in. He always, he never seemed to have fear. Maybe a little crazy and go with that adrenaline first. But my point is, he always stood up and did the right thing when he saw something happening. He would not be a bystander. And, that's the thing that
That's what
is hard.
that's real men. Nothing toxic about that. That's what we need in this country.
Yeah,
Masculinity, protectors,
Yep.
protectors, right, Bill?
Yeah, I think
100%.
protecting each other and standing up for
right.
each other, I think, is
Right.
the right thing to do. Definitely.
Yeah,
Michael Mazzio, Michael Mazzio's on here saying hi.
Hey,
yeah,
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Bill, what would you tell a veteran right now who is struggling maybe to find their next mission and missing that camaraderie? What do you have to say to that?
I'd say two things. I'd say one, adventure therapy. It works for me. Like, try to fund fun athletic events, especially if you're a veteran, because, when you got a lot of aggression and frustration, getting it out in a positive spotlight is such a good thing, because I think a lot of people don't realize why exercising is very healthy for you. But the other good thing it does is it purges a lot of like negative frustration, aggression. Like if I'm like dealing with, I got a really horrible day, if I work out really good or go for a run, I'm not like, I kind of purge that a bit, because now I'm totally exhausted. The other thing is, like 22-0, like it's okay to talk things out sometimes and get a different perspective. And I know a lot of veterans shy away from therapy because a lot of them are like me. They really don't trust like liberal therapists. That's why I think like 22-0 is such a good thing. And I really recommend it to a lot of people. So 22-0 adventure therapy. There's a lot of fun, patriotic, athletic events. If you ever saw the movie Fight Club, there's a scene in Fight Club where like one of the main actors is like, he goes to like AA Anonymous and all these other groups, even though he's not really an alcoholic, but he just kind of goes for the social bonding thing. Well, for me, I'm kind of like a junkie for like fun athletic events. That's kind of why I started the New York City SEAL Swim, because I really believe in adventure therapy. So that's what I would recommend. And here's the other thing. I like the VFWs, but there's a part of them I don't like. And I love how they bring veterans together, but what I don't like is the common denominator being the bar.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the reason why.
I never thought of that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
It is.
You know,
The issue with me is I'll tell you, I learned a lot of lessons in the SEAL teams, and I'll share one of them with you. I was a young SEAL, and we were doing some training in Garmisch, Germany, and we were actually in the mountains for a couple of weeks, and we came down to like a base camp, and thank God it wasn't like it was still in the mountains and not, but they were passing around Red Label Scots, and I got really, really drunk, and I woke up and they had a spinal board, and I was vigorous taped to the spinal board upside down in a stall, so that when I threw up, I didn't drown on my throw up. And they beat me up a bit. But after I came to my senses, and they kept me there for damn near 8 hours. But after I came to my senses, I heard all these crazy. They told me I wasn't allowed to drink for 6 months, but I never again had another alcohol related incident. Now that saved my life, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because I was a young SEAL then. And then as I go on in my SEAL career, we're under a lot of stress. And one of the bad things about it was a lot of way guys would relieve that stress is when we get in town, you drink pretty heavy. And it became a lifestyle. And one of the things I realized is that when people are dealing with a lot of stress and sometimes you drink, it comes out in a way you don't like.
Yeah.
And so that hard lesson I learned, I never again had an alcohol related incident. I never got crazy drinking again, because let me tell you, that SEAL platoon roughed me up and I deserved it. Anywhere else, I probably would have got kicked out of the Navy.
wow.
But that's why I say it's a real danger for guys when they get out, because now like you're out and you got to find your own path and you're dealing with a different type of stress. You kind of feel like an outlier. The last thing you want to do is try to self-medicate with alcohol, because it's a trap.
Great advice. Yeah, great points.
Great advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you made me just think about the VFWs. They should have some sort of obstacle course at a VFW, you know. They should build it out so that
I never thought of that. Yeah, that's great points, Bill. I just never thought of this. True. It's really just, we've been to them too, and it's like always a bar. Not a lot of activities.
Well, what do they get? They get the social bonding.
Right.
Then they get that lifestyle of drinking. It's unhealthy. Where with adventure therapy, we get this social bonding. But now, like, I'm training for the swim, or I just did the Ryan Larkin adventure race, and I was training for that.
Right.
And so now it's like, and it's a pro health issue, and then you still get the social bonding.
That makes sense. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that when I've had veterans on my film set, that's the first thing they said they loved about a film team was the camaraderie and the mission. And the veterans were the best team. Pam is enjoying the show. Veterans were the best team that I ever had, because they had everything locked up safe. And it made sense afterwards. I realized, I'm like, okay, makes sense why veterans love this, because it's a mission. We're making a film.
Yes.
It's a safe mission. We're not being shot at.
And you're a team.
And we're a team. And the end result is this great, beautiful work of art that everyone made happen as a collaborative team. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
As you brought up a really good point, Lisa. A lot of veterans, like, we need to find a new tribe. We need to find a new purpose. We need, and I could see how that fits.
Absolutely. The big
Yeah.
vision, Bill, we've never really had a chance to talk like this, and I'm really grateful for it. Barry has heard it a lot about heroic episodes. Joe Montaigne is our executive producer. We have great consultants like Dr. Pamela Arnell and some other nonprofits that we've partnered with. But every episode is based on a true story of a veteran or family, firefighter, first responder, people that protect and service. And all the episodes we film, we work with veterans. And this all came from my experience years ago, having veterans on set and just learning. Yeah.
And there's nothing really like it out there now either when you think of it. No show
No, there
really
is.
does that. Yeah.
That's why we're relentless. We're not going to stop until we raise the money and do it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I find really beautiful, two things about you guys. You're both kind of in the creative fields, which is kind of neat. I'm not that guy, and it's so cool we can be friends. But what I really appreciate you guys too, is that it's about healing, right? That's really the message here. How can we heal? I love that.
Yes.
We need more of that.
We do, and that's the intention behind heroic episodes, and that's why I said to Barry, let's start doing a live every Thursday. Let's bring the people together that Barry introduces me to, and we're all like-minded, and the common thread is healing. And these inspiring stories, your story and so many of the veterans that we've met with, music artists, veteran like Brian Weaver, the stories are just boundless. And producing a series showcasing and spotlighting these stories, we can transcend generations.
That's it.
We can employ veterans, keep them working on set, doing what they love for generations to come.
Music to my ears.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And of course, we want Brian Weaver and other veteran music artists to do the score of the series. So the heart of the series is about healing. Definitely. We're so grateful to have you here. And
Yeah, we really are. I'm just
the audio glitches. Nothing can keep this from happening.
right.
No.
Exactly.
We improvised and overcame too. We found a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I know we're going to wrap up soon, but before we do, were you standing on the riverbank of the Hudson and all of a sudden you went, I should get my brothers and we should swim here? How did this thought come about?
You know, like a lot of things, there's different kind of variables in life that have an influence. I think one of the biggest ones was a friend of mine, David Goggins. He's a renowned SEAL. He did the Badwater Ultrathon. And when I was in a community college getting out, and then I went to Rutgers, that really inspired me. I can't do 160 some plus miles, but I did one from Rutgers Camden to Rutgers, New Brunswick straight, 65 miles. I started a scholarship there. I did it with Efra Gonzalez, Iraq vet. 65 miles, 11 hours. I raised $20K for a scholarship for veterans. I started there. So that had a big impact. And then I did another adventure kind of therapy type of thing. The LKN SEAL swim, Lake Norman, I believe it's in North Carolina. That was 15 miles. I swam with a bunch of SEALs, but we took turns. That had a big impact. Shannon Rose was the SEAL who invented that. I was a SEAL on 9/11, and I had to go to a federal courthouse in New York City, and there's a federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. And I took the path to the Oculus, which is the World Trade Center, and to walk to the courthouse. And as I had to walk right by World Trade Center, and that had big impact on me, my life, changed my life. And so that's in the back of my head. And then like a week later, I had to go to a courthouse in Jersey City. And I'm driving by the turnpike, I see the Statue of Liberty off my peripheral. And I was like, the Statue of Liberty to to the World Trade Center aren't that far. And I was like, what separates it to Hudson? I was like, seals can swim. And that's it.
No,
Amazing.
wow, that's great.
That
Right.
is amazing. I just know for a fact there's some big rats in that river. So
Can you clarify that? And
there's
confirm
a
that?
lot of things in there. That,
Yeah, I bet.
But to be honest with you, I've swam in worse.
but the current is treacherous in the Hudson. I mean,
It's no BS. It's a no BS swim event, and there's currents and tides absolutely have to be dialed in.
So,
yes.
Bill, it's the Navy SEAL swim. Is it only Navy SEALs that participate? Is it other armed forces? Is it law enforcement? Anybody can join, or?
Great question, Barry. The first year we had 33 SEALs and the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, but now it's expanded. We opened it up to firefighters, police officers, and then we opened up to everybody. The key thing is we have to make sure that you're a competent swimmer. That's the key thing, because as Lisa said, the Hudson is no joke.
Right, I bet.
yeah.
Wow, amazing. That's so great.
August
Thank you
15th.
guys so much. It's an honor.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's been amazing, and everyone, I just want them to know August 15th is the SEAL Swim in New York City on the Hudson. That's what we're talking about. Founder Bill Brown, former Navy SEAL, is here. We're just so grateful to have him here, and just the stories that you have shared. I mean, I'm still trying to process, but what I love is that you're not afraid to speak truth to power. I love that expression.
You know, one of the things, Lisa, is when you stand up like you're standing up, when you share your story, you encourage other people too.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Yeah, and I think that's very inspiring, and that you never know who's listening when you're sharing your story. You never know who you might be helping. And I'm sure tonight we had some veterans on here, because I'm looking at the messages, and I'm just really grateful that everyone tuned in. Bill, we want to have you back again. Is that okay?
I'm honored. I love you guys. I love what you're about. Honored to. And thank you very much.
We
you, Bill.
love you, and we're very grateful for you. And
Yes, thank you for
and I-
everything. All your
and
service.
yeah. And I put you on the spot. I recruited you as an ambassador for a right to heal.
And music to my ears.
Yeah,
Thank you
that
so
would
much.
be another honor. So it's amazing
Yeah.
to have you. It's great to see you again too. Always great seeing you.
You too, Barry. I appreciate
We got to
it.
hang out one of these days too.
100%.
Yeah.
My cousins in Hawaii always do the hang with. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Those who are watching every Thursday, 7 p.m., we're right here at Heroic Episodes. We have veterans, advocates, artists, all who have chosen to turn their pain into purpose, to heal, to create, and inspire. God bless everyone. Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Bill.
God bless.